Welcome to the Eureka Street Crypto Podcast.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting live from Leander, Texas. It is 5:32 in the morning. Yep, and it's January 18th, 2022. This is episode number 392 in the books. There was a few other episodes somewhere along the past year that I didn't really count. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'm at 400 now. I don't know. I'm not even keeping count anymore. This is my morning show, aka video blog, and this is my brain dump where I just talk about new things I learn about in crypto every single day. And every single day there's always something new to learn about. This has been an interesting journey this year so far, or over the year, over a year that I've been doing this. So, it is what it is. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not shilling my own. Well, I might pump my own bags a little bit, but that's just because those are the projects that I'm interested in, and as a result, I end up kind of talking about them. So, yeah, that's natural. All right, let's go over here to the old CoinGecko and see what we have going on. Okay, we have Bitcoin at $42,849. $829.43, up 2.3% in the past 7 days. Ethereum, $3,271.89. Pardon the cough. Still just dealing with a lingering cough from being sick last week. All right. Binance Coin, $483.23, up 10%. Tether stablecoin Cardano up 30.3% in the past 7 days. Up to $1.53. So what's going on with Cardano? I haven't really seen anything on my Twitter feed as far as what's happening with Cardano and why it's shooting up the way it is. Usually it's based on some kind of supposed news that Cardano is going to come out with something new, and then it gets delayed. The goalpost gets moved, and then things go back down. Hey man, I'm just saying the pattern of what I've seen, not dogging on Cardano. USDC stablecoin, so it's $1. Solana 143.24, up 1.6%. XRP 76 cents, up 1.6%. Terra 81.63, up 9.4% in the past 7 days, down 5.7% in the past 24 hours. And then Polkadot up 8.4%, and then down 4.5% in the past 24 hours. And then we got the Dogecoin, 6.169, almost 17 cents, up 12.9%. Avalanche 89.25 and number 12, staying roughly the same, but it is down 4.3% in the past 24 hours. And Polygon up 11.7% in the past 7 days, and number 13, just ahead of the old Shiba Inu, which is up 3.9% in the past 7 days, down 3.6% in the past 24 hours. Near Protocol has been blasting into space. I need to see what's up with Near, man. I keep forgetting to take a look at it, but I get busy during the day because I have an actual job. So I got things I have to take care of, calls I got to answer. A lot of people with their RVs need their propane hoses, and that's what I'm into, propane and propane accessories. Actually, the hose. So that's what my factory does. It's what it makes. It makes hose. So I sell hose. I sell them in every area code all around the world. I sell hose. All right. Chainlink 24.29, and it's down 10% in the past 7 days. Crypto.com 45 cents, is down 2.3% in the past 24 hours, and down 1.2% in the past 7 days. Let's see where Theta is. I keep holding out for Theta here. They're sitting at 406. Not much movement there. So yeah, who knows? And then Mana, I somehow ended up with a pretty healthy chunk of mana from some liquidity that I was supplying via Mana and I can't remember what else. I think it was like wrapped Ethereum or something over on Sushi Swap. And I pulled out that liquidity, and now I'm just left with a bunch of mana that's just sitting there. So, hopefully I've been waiting for mana to have a spike so I can sell it off and do something else. I don't know. Just me being restless, really. I'm probably going to end up losing on all that, on my movement and my activity. I'm winning on everything that I have consistently held on, and that's, Ethereum and Bitcoin and Theta and Chainlink, all that stuff I've had for a long time, and I'm winning on all those. And then the ones that I've sat there and traded around and, dicked around with and moved around, I'm losing on all those. So it just goes to show trading is not everything it's cracked up to be. Anyway, so I usually, a lot of times I'll pick an article to read. And I was thumbing through some of my bookmarks. I go through Twitter and I just, will bookmark stuff that I find kind of interesting. And here is one right here by Jack, the ex-CEO of Twitter, who stepped down. He retweeted this article called "You Don't Own Web3, a Coinbase Curse and How VCs Sell Crypto." Interesting. Okay, so I saved that article. Let me see. Okay, all right. And I read it. So Jack says, "Pop." That's all that a billionaire has to say to garner some attention towards something. So here is the article. You don't own Web3, a Coinbase curse and how VCs sell crypto to retail. So Coinbase, all right. I get a lot of people asking me, including my old neighbor. He called me over the weekend and he's like, "Hey man, I want to get into Bitcoin. People at work have been telling me, that I need to, throw in some money." So they're all going together in on Bitcoin. I'm like, "No, don't do that. Just because your shipping guy says, that you can throw $50 into some kind of fund and then, watch the graph grow, like that's how I lost $99. My first foray into crypto way back in 2018 is I found one of these like cloud mining services or whatever it was that, you throw in $99 and then all you have to do is log in and daily you can see your balance increase and stuff like that. Those are scams, man. So don't sit there and mess around with stuff like that. It's good to have your keys. It's good to have your wallet. It's good to have control of your crypto. You can buy some Bitcoin on like Coinbase and crypto.com and stuff like that, Kraken, Gemini. And you can keep it on there, I guess, for temporary. But just be known that if you don't own your keys, you don't own your crypto. And a lot of times, especially during really wild price movements, those exchanges, and that's what they're called. They're called centralized exchanges. They're not wallets. They will freeze up on you and not allow you to have access to your crypto, especially during the most wild, volatile price movements. And that sucks. For the longest time, it was kind of like a running joke. We're having more than a 10% price swing. Coinbase is going to go down. It was like clockwork. Coinbase would always go down no matter what. So here's Coinbase for you. Hold on, let me kind of get this screen to where everybody can see it. Sorry for my audio listeners while I make some adjustments here on this Coinbase screen. I just want you to be able to see basically and get the gist. This is my Coinbase account. I don't have anything in here. I don't keep anything in Coinbase, but I do occasionally. Occasionally, I will go into Coinbase and I will do this little section over here on the right called Learn and Earn. And this is when they launch new tokens out on Coinbase. And you can go in and you can watch the little videos and you can, learn about some new token through some instructional videos that they'll give you. And you take the little quiz and you'll get like, here, $6 worth of crypto. Well, I did this a long time ago with compound finance when that first came out. And they ended up just sitting in my wallet for a long time. Well, it just so happens whenever I was going to go explore Avalanche, I needed Avalanche token in order to be able to navigate around the Avalanche blockchain network. Well, I didn't really feel like going and buying some Avalanche token. So what I did is I went over here to Coinbase and I pulled out that compound token that had risen in price pretty significantly. And then I transferred it to another wallet, and then I exchanged that for Avalanche token. So yeah, man. So I ended up getting some free tokens that way and using them. And yeah, man. So that's one thing that Coinbase is pretty good for. But Coinbase is also good for being kind of a newbie exchange. So it's a centralized finance exchange. It's not a DeFi exchange. And what I mean by that is they hold the keys to your crypto. You upload your fiat dollars, and then you can buy crypto. Or you just buy directly, Bitcoin with your Visa card, and then it shows up in your balance. It shows that you have, whatever token here. Here are my assets. I have $2.95 worth of this new Cipher token because I watched the videos. I have $1.91 worth of this Numeraire token because I watched those videos. The Bounce token, same thing. The Graph, 16 cents in US dollars. I have 0 in USDC and 0 in Tezos. And then here, you can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and all this stuff. Coinbase was one of the first exchanges I used a long time ago. And for a new person, it's really easy to figure out. You just buy, sell, send, and receive. You can borrow cash on it. You can do the little videos, but the fees cost like an arm and a leg, and it always goes down like clockwork whenever you whenever you need your money. Coinbase is down, whenever the market is particularly volatile. So that's just some little warnings in advance about Coinbase here. I got 69 notifications. Nice. All right. Cool, man. I didn't even notice that until now. Right on. So, anyway, so yeah, that's Coinbase in a nutshell. The fees will basically kick your ass, but Coinbase is not to be confused with Coinbase Pro and Coinbase Wallet. So Coinbase Pro over here is exactly like it is, Coinbase Pro, and it lets you do all like the little pro stuff. I think it even lets you do like calls and puts and options and stuff like that. But it has the more complex looking, trade layout. It has the order books on the side. And that's what centralized exchanges are. They are order book based exchanges in which when you put in an order to buy something, they match you with a seller and then, or several sellers or whatever, in order to match you up to be able to make your trade for you. Where something like Uniswap, for example, is a decentralized exchange. You connect your MetaMask wallet. You hold the keys to your crypto the entire time. That's called an automated market maker, in which individuals like you and I supply the liquidity. So say, for instance, I have some Ethereum and I have some USDC tokens. I can supply 50% of a total amount of 1,000, so $500 worth of each of those, of that pair, and that way that pair is available anytime anybody wants to trade Ethereum for USDC, and that is the publicly supplied market, liquidity market. And liquidity is just money available for you to be able to buy and sell. That's what liquidity is, and liquidity is good. You want liquidity. A lot of times these centralized exchanges like Coinbase and crypto.com and stuff like that, they will buy up and have prepared tons of liquidity. So yeah, when you see large whale movements, on the blockchain, a lot of times those are centralized exchanges buying and selling liquidity in preparation for potential listing, maybe on their exchanges. All right. And then the Coinbase Pro is a more, I guess they offer you more tools and options. It's a little more scary looking for the new person to go and jump on Coinbase Pro and see all these different graphs. They have different tokens available on Coinbase Pro than they do on just regular old Coinbase right here. As you can tell, the layout's very different. And then you have Coinbase Wallet over here. All right, Coinbase Wallet is this is where you hold the keys to your crypto. All right, and you have your seed phrase, you write it down. You can transfer in and out from your MetaMask to here and vice versa. I mean, you can on the others too, but yeah, and this is a standalone wallet. You own this crypto. You have the keys to it. It is not Coinbase, the exchange. Although now it can connect to Coinbase Exchange, but Coinbase Wallet used to be under a company called Toshi, and it wasn't even affiliated with Coinbase, or maybe it was kind of in some loose way. But now it's actually owned by Coinbase. But this was back in 2018. It started out as the Toshi wallet, and then it became the Coinbase wallet. So this article was written in 2018, and this was in the idea of kind of having a decentralized wallet was a fairly new idea back then, of you owning the keys to your crypto on your phone and having a phone-based wallet or a browser-based wallet was a fairly new idea. Back in 2018, they said, we're proud to announce that Toshi is becoming Coinbase Wallet. This is not just a new name, but part of a larger effort to invest in products that will define the future of the decentralized web and make that future accessible to anyone. At Coinbase, we believe that the applications of the future will be built on the decentralized internet, the blockchain. Everyone will own a crypto wallet that allows them to access decentralized applications, dApps. That wallet will be their gateway to the open financial system. So they were kind of leading up to the whole idea of Web 3.0. Yes, I have Coinbase Wallet on my phone. I use it sometimes. Some sites will have connect your Coinbase Wallet. Really, I only use it because I just still have some old cryptocurrency on there. I honestly, I use MetaMask. I use Rainbow Wallet. Those are the two decentralized dApp phone wallets that I use. In my browser, I use MetaMask. I tried installing the Coinbase Wallet app on my browser, and it sucks. It blows. It never connects when I want it to, and that's the same problem that I have with my phone Coinbase Wallet too. It's just always, it's got like, it works fine enough, I guess, but whenever I'm trying to connect, and then whenever I'm trying to do something, I have to wait for it to pop up on my phone. And if I don't have my wallet app actually up and ready to go, then I have to like reset the connection. It's just clunky. It's a clunky experience. So that's all I got to say about that. And this is just my experience, man. So it might not be your experience, but I don't necessarily love Coinbase Wallet, all right? And I don't like Coinbase Pro, and I don't really like Coinbase. So sorry for being like all negative and stuff on this show. I'm not trying to be. But you'll get things like this here. I Googled, I did a search because I don't Google. I did pre-search. What is the difference between Coinbase and Coinbase Wallet? All right. A cryptocurrency exchange is a brokerage service that allows the buying and selling of digital assets and also lets you convert fiat currency into digital currency. For example, Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, Kraken are all cryptocurrency exchanges. A cryptocurrency wallet, on the other hand, is a physical device or a software that allows you to store your crypto assets in your private key. Okay. All right. So, for example, Exodus, Coinbase Wallet, Ledger, Electrum are all crypto wallets. All right. In 2012 is when Coinbase was founded in San Francisco. It's become one of the most popular names in the crypto market. Actually, Coinbase has a stock now, and I have some stock app, and I actually do invest like $5 a week in Coinbase stock and Riot blockchain. I don't know why, I just do. It's just one of those things I do. And I've been doing that for a long time, ever since they went public, and I'm pretty much losing my ass on all of them. But whatever. Okay, so don't follow my financial advice for sure. It's obviously not. As of now, it supports over 70 cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Litecoin, Ethereum, ERC20 tokens, and many more. One of the most popular crypto wallets is Coinbase Wallet, thanks to the widespread use of the Coinbase Exchange, which is one of the largest crypto exchanges in 2021. Coinbase Wallet is a standalone app and a dApp browser that can be controlled just by you. It ensures the ownership of your private keys and is restricted to your device and not in any centralized server. Coinbase is a cryptocurrency exchange where Coinbase Wallet is a crypto wallet. So that's the differentiation between the two. But look here, down here, Coinbase Wallet is a complete scam. Once you add to it, you'll never be able to get it out without paying more fees than you have deposited. I hope the IRS catches wind of them. I smell a class action lawsuit very soon. Don't use Coinbase Wallet. This is a comment by Golden Brandon Dollar, a grown adult man. Okay, that's how that person characterizes themselves, but they obviously don't know the difference between Coinbase Wallet and Coinbase. They are talking about Coinbase, and he's just bitching about the fees. All right. That's basically all he's doing. He's sitting there saying he smells a class action lawsuit very soon and all that stuff. If you don't like the fees, don't use it. All right. I mean, I don't love Coinbase, and I'm not exactly jumping to the defense, but seriously, just don't use it. I don't use Coinbase. Like there's a lot of other better options out there. Although I will say Voyager Wallet is not one of them. Voyager is another one of those that purport to be very easy to use and catering to the newbie. Those fees are also very high, and I had an issue where I accidentally transferred some USDC to a multi-collateral DAI wallet. It should be an easy fix. They're both Ethereum address based. I should be able to write into customer service. They can easily make the switch for me and just put the money in the right place. It was a couple $100. And it's been over a month, and I've written in 3 times, and I have yet to hear from customer service. And I've been seeing all over the internet these similar types of complaints with Voyager Wallet. Yeah, Voyager Wallet, I'm not a big fan of. So in case you're thinking about using Voyager Wallet, watch out. All right. So anyway, back to Coinbase. Okay, so let's go over here to this article. And now that we have a little bit of background on that, here's the article that Jack from Twitter talked about. He says, and this article says, you don't own Web3, a Coinbase curse and how VCs sell crypto to retail. All right, so Mark Andreessen, he's one of the bigwigs for, I believe it's Andreessen Horowitz, which is a huge VC, which is a venture capitalist company, and their job is to make money. And a lot of times they will finance their venture capitalists, new startup projects and crypto projects and stuff like that, in order to be able to see them pump up real big, and then they can make money from that. A lot of times they're accused of insider trading, and they will pump up a token and then just dump it out the second that it becomes public. And here Jack Dorsey, he feels this sentiment here. So Jack Dorsey has been all in on calling out VCs for profiting from altcoins, even as they claim to push decentralization. That got me thinking. Mark Andreessen actually has a seat on Coinbase's board of directors. Meanwhile, Coinbase lists his coins to the public. Isn't that a conflict of interest? And you got this little cartoon here with the Ethereum pipeline and Web3 and all the goodness flowing into the mouth of the Silicon Valley VC, with a little skinny retail guy, sucking up the leak in the pipe. So the article continues. I wonder what these coins' performance really looked like long term, especially stacked up against Bitcoin and Ethereum, benchmarks that are hard to view and calculate. If coins, especially VC-backed coins, consistently underperform Bitcoin/Ethereum after listing on Coinbase, that says to me that insiders were waiting for a big dollar-based exchange to list so they could sell. VCs taking profits at the expense of retail. Those insiders include venture capital firms like A16Z and, incredibly, Coinbase's own venture arm, which has a number of investments listed on Coinbase. Other exchanges like Kraken, FTX, and Gemini are also all active in venture and have listed their own investments. Why is this important and not just nerdonomics? First, Coinbase is like the New York Stock Exchange of crypto. As I was demonstrating to you, Coinbase is like the easiest place for a newbie to come in. It's kind of just the lazy person's way to tell somebody kind of a semi-safe place to get into crypto. And they're on the stock market, that they're publicly listed. So first, Coinbase is like the New York Stock Exchange of crypto. A listing there is a huge deal and usually leads to massive profits for everyone involved. But unlike the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ, Coinbase gets to choose whatever assets they want using their own process. So yeah, you'll hear a lot of projects, and if you go into Telegram rooms, they're kind of on the decline. But if you go into Discord groups and stuff like that for particular projects and you're learning about them, A lot of times you'll see chatter like, oh, Coinbase, when Coinbase, when Coinbase, Coinbase soon, and stuff like that. Everybody wants to be on Coinbase because that means that the token's value is going to have a huge spike in it because suddenly there's going to be a lot of liquidity available to the public. So that's what the significance of getting a listing on Coinbase is. All right, so second, A16Z and Coinbase's own returns are particularly interesting given A16Z is supposedly the best investor in this space, and there's a potential conflict of interest here. Is the game rigged? Third, Coinbase pivoted its strategy last year to go from being cautious to listing as many coins as they can, and that raises the ante even higher for them and their users. So I started to dig in. What I found surprised me. Most coins underperformed, returns got worse over time, and VC-backed coins did worst of all. But the author here was able to do one better. For the last few years, Coinbase put out the names of coins they were thinking about listing, but never did. And so he analyzed those coins and found that they did even better than the ones that made it. And the VC-backed ones didn't show any of the same underperformance. So he dug in. It says Coinbase effect or Coinbase curse. He says for years being listed for trading on Coinbase has been the holy grail of crypto, the equivalent of an IPO on Wall Street. And like an IPO, there seems to come up with a pop. Masari, a crypto research firm, documented in a report that the average Coinbase listing leads to a 91% gain in 5 days on average. So think about it this way. If you're a VC and you are sitting on the Coinbase committee or whatever, and you're trying to decide which ones that you want to put on the exchange, well, you are probably going to load your bags up with the one that you think is going to be listed because you're going to feel the effect of that pop, and you're going to know in advance about that pop. And once that pop happens and you get that 91% gain in 5 days, then suddenly you're going to dump. You're going to drop the biggest dump of your life. Yeah, after that. So there's two flaws. This is an extremely short time frame. If you believe, as the author does, that the returns for most coins come from illiquidity rather than fundamental value, the sudden rush of buyers after a listing will create a pop, but eventually turn negative as insiders' lockups end. What do I mean by illiquidity? Basically, many have a large amount of the supply immobilized or locked in DeFi protocols with incentives not to sell. Project developers and investors will hold a significant amount of the coins, but over time the supply gets released. And then number two, showing returns on an absolute basis is meaningless. If you're a hedge fund, you have to beat the benchmark. The benchmark for any cryptocurrency should be Bitcoin and or Ethereum. In my opinion, Ethereum makes sense as the majority of these Web3 tokens are built on Ethereum's vision rather than Bitcoin's. For example, the CoinDesk article cited above cites a 6-fold return on Filecoin, but investors who chose to buy Filecoin instead of Bitcoin at Coinbase's listing on December 10th actually did poorly on relative terms with a rapid decline in the first month. So here's a little, let me scroll down to this graph. And yeah, there's Filecoin to USDC chart, and there's a pop, and then everything has just been going down. So note that, okay, most of that return they cited was Bitcoin going up. Filecoin has actually severely underperformed Bitcoin in the time since by 55%. He says, I'm not alone in this. Most people who have experienced trading crypto look at the prices in Bitcoin or Ethereum, not in US dollars, to make assessments. Well, most newbies look at it in US dollars, but how do Coinbase listings stack up? He took 128 listings from Coinbase, removing stablecoins and peg coins, and separated listings by year. So the results largely confirm his thesis and his view. Coinbase and VCs will likely trumpet the USD returns as proof that crypto allows retail investors, the community, to partake in the growth of these networks. But the reality shows that most of the return comes very early after the listing. The 2021 coins are doing great, but everything from 2020 and earlier is underperforming. The 2021 return is also below the 91% pop cited by Masari, which suggests after the pop they all lose value. Now look at that. Against Ethereum, they're all losing value. So once a coin has been on Coinbase for a year, it appears to lag Bitcoin and Ethereum pretty soundly. So yeah, against the dollar, sure. But then again, everything's doing good against the dollar right now. I mean, we just had like what, a whole month of 7% inflation. Yeah, so I think this is like the worst inflation since 1981. So yeah, so once a coin's been on Coinbase for a year, it appears to lag Bitcoin and Ethereum pretty soundly. So he said he also looked for coins where he could find the return for 1 year prior to listing, just to show that the coins were not performing badly since inception. If we split up the coins listed in the last year, we will see the same pattern, and the coins in the last 6 months do better than those in the previous 6 months, and the last 6 months also lag the average 91% pop. If you only take out 2 coins, Polygon and Solana, from those 63 that are over 6 months old, Coinbase returns also turn negative. So anyway, so I'm scrolling down here. So the thirst for liquidity. Surely if we filter for A16Z's listing on Coinbase, we'll get better results. Au contraire, mon frère. A16Z's returns are much worse than Coinbase listings overall. This smells to me of insider selling. These should be the best coins there are given A16Z's success, but instead 100% of those older than 12 months and 90% older than 6 months lag Ethereum. It's a hits business, Andreessen might retort. But retail investors, number one, are not creating a full portfolio like VCs. And number two, this is a public offering, so returns should be more like stocks with a positive average return. Number three, the hits in VC are supposed to be 100x returns to make up for dozens of failures. But of A16Z's listings, only one, Solana, managed to at least double in Bitcoin terms. So back in 2018, when the author used to trade coins for fun, looking at the cap table for big name investors like Andreessen Horowitz was the best way to avoid getting stuck in a rug pull. When a coin suddenly turns out to be a scam, it worked pretty well. When he tried to deploy the similar tactic in 2021 on Coinbase, however, he kept losing money, and now he thinks he knows why. And then, okay, so let me scroll on down here. Proof of pudding. These numbers alone don't prove anything about Coinbase or A16Z. Their spokespeople will say. So newer cryptos have done better because of better technology. And those returns have faded for all exchanges, not just Coinbase. Now shut up before we sue you. But luckily for them, we have what in economics they call a natural experiment. Up until 2020, Coinbase would announce they were considering a group of coins for listing. Some got the green light, other included them in the analysis above, and some didn't. The returns for those unlisted coins, many of them are exploding. Non-listings significantly outperform listings on a US dollar and a Bitcoin basis all time, and underperform Ethereum slightly, keeping well in his position that Ethereum is the best benchmark. Importantly, the returns also get way worse as a coin gets older, even worse than Coinbase's coins. This is for a couple of reasons. Coinbase selection criteria probably exclude the shitiest of shite coins. And then number two, the non-listings are much older, meaning there's been more time for degradation. So if we only look at 2020, where we have a fairly even comparison, 17 Coinbase listings against 13 non-listings, the return difference is damn near astronomical, and this is not a product of one winner. 4 of the non-listings are positive against Ethereum, while only 1 of the 17 actual listings is. So that's pretty crazy. So his conclusion, so much for the Coinbase effect. Letting people sell coins in US dollars seems to hurt way more than it helps. If anything, there seems to be a Coinbase curse. This feels like good support for both of his theses. One, that most coins appreciate due to illiquidity, not value, as both listings and non-listings suffer degradation over time. And then number two, that the liquidity on Coinbase causes these coins to underperform, perhaps part and due to insider selling. Insider selling? You didn't say anything about that part. And then there's a section called Locked In. We already took a look at A16Z coins and saw that they underperform Bitcoin and Ethereum in the average Coinbase listing. What about the non-listed coins? There's a much smaller sample of 4 coins, but the results are pretty stark. Returns for A16Z coins that didn't get listed actually managed to outperform Bitcoin, something the listed coins didn't even come close to. Arweave had investments from both A16Z and Coinbase Ventures, but never listed, and had the strongest performance by far, a full 10x since Coinbase said it was evaluating whether to list. We can basically tell our story in 3 coins from the DeFi summer of 2020. Theta, Loopring, and Uniswap. These coins have all been through the same macro environment. The never listed coin is the best. And the listed non-VC coin is better, and the listed VC-backed coin is the worst. So Theta is the unlisted coin. It performed the best. I hold Theta. Yeah, and the Theta community, the entire time that it was potentially going to be listed on Coinbase, were just clamoring for it to be listed on Coinbase. Well, it's probably a good thing that Theta never got listed on Coinbase, because then it would probably be, I mean, it's already not doing, relatively speaking, in the past year, Theta is not doing very well. But over the past 2 and 3 years, Theta is doing amazing. So you gotta, when in doubt, zoom out, and Theta now has a bunch of stuff going for it. I think Theta is gonna go absolutely bonkers at some point here in the future. But it's not a short-term coin, and in the past year, they've been doing a lot of stuff. And so, it got a huge pump there for a while and went up to nearly $20. Now it's back down at $4. But it's a hell of a lot better than the 20 cents of where it was. So anyway, I got sidetracked. So what does it all mean? The author's first thought on viewing this is he himself won't buy anything listed on Coinbase, especially after the initial pop, and to stop trusting VC-backed coins. Turns out he didn't lose all his trading skins after all. The logical inference would be to only buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, although those returns have also come down on an annual basis, including the last year. And although are still far less risky than these smaller coins, although they seem like a better shot than buying all the fancy little Web3 tokens. So please read the disclaimer at the top right. Okay. He thinks it also has important implications for some of the big debates in crypto. A counterpoint to the Balaji thesis. Balaji, and he's some famous guy in the crypto space, he likes to repeatedly make the point that a major value proposition for Web3 is to help the little guy, right? And I say that all the time too. I'm like, without DeFi and without Web3, I would not have the opportunity to participate and use a lot of these tools that are normally reserved for accredited investors. So he's got a point, and I feel that way too. So Balaji's thesis is that the major value proposition for Web3 is to help the little guy, letting users participate in value creation, e.g. have some ownership in a project. However, the vast majority of users are buying on Coinbase and so are simply underperforming Bitcoin, right? Okay, so yeah, the average schmo getting into crypto is not jumping straight into the DeFi world like I am and using a lot of these tools and these Web3 tools. The average schmo is just kind of dicking around on Coinbase and crypto.com and stuff like that, so and then support for the Jack thesis. Jack Dorsey of Twitter, his contention is that most tokens are owned by VCs and that they are ruining Bitcoin by using the Web3 narrative to siphon off liquidity created by the demand for deflationary assets. Jack is something of a Bitcoin maxi, so this is self-serving, but so far he looks like it might be onto something. So they both have points, I like Balaji's thesis. I follow Balaji's thesis. Web3's been amazing for me because it's helped me discover an entirely new world of amazing tools that I otherwise wouldn't have access to. However, I'm not like most people who just jump into crypto, because most people who jump into crypto sit around and dick around on Coinbase, and that's basically about it. And they never move anything off of their centralized exchange, and they definitely don't put stuff in cold storage. And yeah, so if you do those things, use DeFi tools. So the amount of people, the amount of money in the world is a lot. And the amount of people that buy crypto and Bitcoin is like a small, tiny little chunk, although it's growing. The amount of people that use DeFi is like tiny little fraction of those people that are buying in crypto. And then the amount of people within DeFi that are using layer 2 solutions is an even tiny, tiny, tiny little sliver of the people that use DeFi. So think about it in those terms, So, Balaji makes some good points about the value proposition is helping the little guy, but the amount of those little guys that are actually using DeFi, that are actually using layer 2 solutions and stuff like that is so minute, it's barely a blip on the radar, if at all. So Jack's thesis does pretty much stand up pretty well, saying that the Web3 narrative is ruining Bitcoin by siphoning off liquidity and creating demand for deflationary assets. So interesting, interesting. So this means we need to continue, in my view, to grow the narrative of Web3 and educate more people about the whole principles of DeFi and how they can have the power in their own hands to teach the world to go bankless, which is why I'm part of the bankless DAO and stuff like that. Okay. So he said, other thoughts. Coinbase might also be throwing away its brand here. This might need new assets to encourage trading, but others think the pivot away from the cautious approach may be the influence of Balaji, which makes sense given his thesis about helping investors, but he might be wrong looking at the data. Also, Balaji used to work at A16Z and Coinbase, so no one can really say his motives. Lastly, the author thinks that there's something nefarious going on at either company. He doesn't think so. It's possible that they haven't even looked at the numbers themselves. They might just be the most transparent, since it's hard to get data on other investors and exchanges, but they also have the most influence by far. And as Uncle Ben said, with great power, rather, I think this is with a microcosm of how bad the incentives are in crypto. VCs and private investors that have used to wait for 10 years for liquidity can now get it within one. The last time that happened was in 1999, and we all know how that ended. It's a recipe for risk-taking and then quickly passed on to the public. So anyway, that's the article goes on, but I'm way out of time. I went way over today at 41 minutes. I'll link this article in the description. It's a pretty good article, man, and it kind of just sheds some lights on VCs, on Coinbase, this whole process. And I'm sorry I started out with some of like the major super dumb basics about Coinbase and Coinbase Pro and Coinbase Wallet, but I wanted to get everybody up on the kind of the same page at least about like, what Coinbase is and what Coinbase isn't and stuff like that. So anyway, give me a thumbs up or whatever if you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you tomorrow. And tomorrow will be a little bit later show because I work from home on Wednesdays. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do my commute, go on down the old grindstone and sell my hose. All right. Well, I will talk to y'all later.
Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.